Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is T.Grueter, and I am a doctoral student at the University of St. Augustine for Health Sciences. This presentation is part of my Capstone education series, which focuses on advocating for recess as an occupational right for children. The series is grounded in pediatric occupational therapy principles and evidence-based practice. It aims to highlight how recess, often overlooked or undervalued, is actually a vital occupation for children. This work is guided by my faculty mentor, Dr. Karen Menard. These modules are designed for anyone who supports children in their daily lives. Parents, grandparents, paid and unpaid caregivers, educators, healthcare professionals, and others who work closely with children. Each plays a vital role in a child's development. By sharing strategies from pediatric occupational therapy, this series aims to empower you to promote play as a tool for building creativity, resilience, and problem solving. Now, when we say occupation and occupational therapy, or OT, we don't mean a job or career. In OT, an occupation is any activity that brings meaning and purpose to someone's life. For children, their occupations include playing, learning, socializing, and participating in family routines. Understanding this definition is key. It helps us see how OT supports children in doing the things that matter most to them and their families. If you haven't taken the pre-test survey yet, please pause here and complete it before continuing. Here's a brief roadmap of the presentation I'll be presenting, Module 1 of 3, which explores play as an occupation. We will look at how play supports development, well-being, and participation, and why it deserves recognition and protection within school systems. A little bit about me. I have been an occupational therapist for 25 years, and I am certified in AIRS sensory integration. Over the years, I have observed a troubling trend. Recess and playtime are increasingly being taken away from children, even as young as preschoolers, as a form of punishment for behaviors. At the same time, opportunities for free play are shrinking, both in schools and at home, both inside and outside. These observations are part of what inspired me to pursue my doctorate. As an occupational therapist, we advocate for play because it's not just fun, it is essential. Play supports problem solving, creativity, emotional regulation, and resilience in children. Occupational therapy is all about helping people engage in meaningful activities. And for children, play is the number one. And that's the foundation of my capstone project. Let's quickly define what we mean by play, recess, and occupational therapy, and what we don't. In OT, play is a core occupation of childhood. It's meaningful, self-directed, and chosen by the child. It's how kids grow, connect, and develop essential skills. Recess is one of the best opportunities for this kind of play. It's not just a break, it's a chance for kids to move, interact, and recharge in a way that supports their development. As OTs, we're trained in neurodevelopment. We study how the brain, body, and emotions work together to support participation. That's why we care so deeply about play and recess. And to clarify, recess is not the same as PE or outdoor class time. Those are structured and led by adults. What we are talking about is child-led play, where kids explore, take risk, and make their own choices. That's where the magic happens. Or in OT terms, where the brain is actively building connections through movement, sensory input, and social engagement. This slide emphasizes the scientific foundation for why recess is essential to child development. Research shows that when children are deprived of recess, Their ability to regulate sensory and motor systems and learn effectively is impacted, especially for those with sensory processing differences. Recess also supports occupational competence by providing opportunities for movement and play that help develop coordination, postural control, and emotional regulation. The data emphasizes that recess deprivation disproportionately affects children from marginalized communities, many of whom already lack access to safe outdoor play spaces outside of their school day. As occupational therapists, we play a key role in advocating for daily, meaningful play. Supporting recess isn't just about having fun. It's about promoting healthy developmental learning and inclusion for all children. Even though we know how important recess is, it is still being taken away in many schools. About half of U.S. schools report withholding recess, usually as a consequence for behavior or to make more time for academics. This practice goes against guidelines from the Centers of Disease Control, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American Occupational Therapy Association. All recognize play as essential for health and participation. What's especially concerning is that this impacts children who need it the most, those with special needs, behavioral problems, and limited access to play outside of school. And because policies vary so much between districts and states, these decisions often deepen existing inequities. In the classroom, we see the effects. Kids struggle more with learning, self-regulation, behavior, and emotional well-being when they don't get the time to move and play. We've talked about the importance of recess, but let's look at what it actually supports in a child's development. First, recess helps kids reset. When they get to move freely and play on their own terms, we see better attention, behavior, and engagement in the classroom. It's also a major contribution to physical and mental health. Removing recess as a punishment doesn't just take away play, it takes away a tool for regulation and well-being. For many children, recess is the only time they get the movement and input they need to stay regulated and ready to learn. And from an occupational therapy perspective, this is about justice. Play is a core occupation of childhood. When we take it away, we are not just limiting fun, we are limiting access to development, participation, and equity. Let's wrap up this section with a few key takeaways. First, recess plays a vital role in child development. It is critical in helping children regulate their attention, manage behavior, and build essential social skills. These aren't just nice to haves, they're foundational for learning and thriving in school. Second, this isn't just opinion. It's backed by solid research and endorsed by leading organizations. The message is clear. Children need recess. Third, withholding recess isn't a neutral decision. It can actually harm children's health, and it doesn't affect all children equally. It often affects the ones who need it the most, the ones who rely on movement to stay regulated. Fourth, for these children, recess provides the movement and sensory input they need to stay regulated and ready to learn. It's not optional, it's therapeutic. And finally, sensory-rich childhood play during recess fosters adaptive responses and builds occupational competence. As occupational therapists, we see play as meaningful. When recess is removed, we're not just taking away playtime, we're limiting access to occupational justice. So now that we've explored the importance of recess, let's shift our focus. In Module 2, we'll dive deeper into the science of play, especially through the framework of Ayres sensory integration. Here are the references that inform the research and content in this presentation. I've included key studies and guidelines from organizations like the CDC, as well as peer-reviewed literature that supports the importance of recess and play in child development.